the poison that is being taught to our children. They are being told that the stories of Columbine don't matter. All they're being told are the bad things that we did in our history. And I'm standing up and saying,
posters coming down.
We should be proud of who we are, where we come from.
Oh, man.
Go on, put it down.
Nigel Farage could eventually be the UK's very own Donald Trump, and I'm going to explain why. For the people in the United States listening, this is going to be a very quick overview. Then I'm going to get to Nigel Farage, his campaign, and why the media are trying to smear him and his campaign and his political party, Reform UK, with the racist label, with a Putin lover title, doing everything to make him unpopular and undesirable for the British public to vote for. Now, Brexit happened in 2016, whereby the British public voted to leave the European Union. And in 2020, the British public's wishes came to fruition. And they used the following three phrases as a mission statement for Brexit. And that was very simple. It was to take back control of the borders, law, and money. But ever since Brexit happened in 2020, people have looked around and seen that the borders are still open. The boats just keep on flowing through the English Channel. We haven't got control of our money. I mean, they're forking over billions to Ukraine and spending government budget on whatever they want. The laws, they write the laws and they enforce their woke ideologies in school that we have no say-so. So what was the point in voting Brexit if things are just going to remain the same? So people are thinking that this is a coalition between the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. Like, regardless of whichever one you vote for, they're still carrying out the same globalist policies. And that's what the British public were told to vote against. You know, take back control and revive nationalism in the United Kingdom. But the globalist policies are still very much alive. I mean, money's still going Ukraine, also coming in more than ever to the United Kingdom. And the laws is, like I said, you know, this extremely woke and there's nothing you can do. You know, if you misgender, I've seen a video where, you know, police, law enforcement will come to your house and, you know, they'll say, what was all that about? You know, and you're thinking to yourself, what? Just from misgendering someone? But yes, they enforce this with, you know, with a lot of might these days. So boom, Reform UK come along and say, we're done with these globalist policies. We're fed up of implementing these policies that benefit other nations and everyone else, and not British people. We want to do what's right for the British people. And we're actually going to check out their policy right now because I'm very keen on checking out policies and seeing what they have to offer, you know, to the people. So let's just check it out very quickly. Okay, so this is their website. We're going to have a look at their mission statement, their policy, how they've come to being about, and yeah, what they just have to say in general. So yeah, let's start. Britain is broken. Britain needs reform. Very simple. Our country has so much potential, but both Labour and the Conservatives have broken promise after promise for the last 30 years. You are worse off both financially and culturally. Wages are stagnant. We have a housing crisis. Our young people struggle to get on the property ladder. We have rising crime. Energy bills are some of the highest in Europe. The NHS isn't working. Both legal and illegal immigration are at record levels, and woke ideology has captured our public institutions and schools. The Conservatives have failed and Labour will fail too. A vote for either is a vote for more incompetence, dishonesty, and failure. We are ruled by an out-of-touch political class who have turned their backs on our country. Reform is the alternative. Only reform will stand up for British culture, identity, and values. We'll freeze immigration and stop the boats, restore law and order, repair our broken public services, cut taxes to make work pay, end government waste, slash energy bills, and unlock real economic growth. Only reform will take back control over our borders, our money, and our laws. Only reform will secure Britain's future as a free, proud, and rich nation. Join the revolt. So it's like I said, Those were the three things being advertised. And basically what Reform want to do is just implement it. They're fed up of, the coalition between the Labour Party and the Conservative Party. They feel like they're in bed together and they're like, hang on, this isn't what the British public voted for. The British public voted in 2016, to leave. They voted to say enough is enough. When we eventually left in 2020, they're thinking to themselves that things are going to change. Nothing gets changed. It stays the same, even worse than it was pre-Brexit. And they're like, no, we need to, enforce what the people wanted and voted for. So that was it. So now I've done a backstory about the Reform UK political party and Nigel Farage. We're going to watch a video of Nigel Farage talking about how the media are trying to smear his campaign with the racist label, with the he's not competent, with the he's a Putin lover, etc. Just to get people, to lose faith and interest in his political party and to get them to vote for another party. So let's see what he has to say. They've been coming after him, attacking him. There's still more that's going to come out, but let's see what he has to say about all of this.
6 days to go until the general election. Boy, we are doing well. How do I know? The level of attacks. To begin, they dug out a statement from me 10 years ago saying I thought there'd be a war in Ukraine, that we'd made some terrible errors of expanding NATO and the European Union. Well, I was right. They were all wrong. But funny, isn't it? That now gets conflated into I support President Putin, which I never have. I've always thought he's a very, very bad and dangerous person. That was the beginning. That was the beginning of the real pushback against the Reform UK vote, against the momentum that is happening out there in the country. Oh, by the way, I was opposed to the Iraq War, which finished up killing hundreds of thousands of civilians. I was opposed to the Libyan War, which led to the creation of ISIS and the boats crossing the Mediterranean, some of those people now coming across the English Channel. The establishment always, always, always fight against me because you know what? I get it right a lot more than they do. And now we get the most incredible saga over the last 24 hours. A so-called Reform UK activist turns up in the Clacton office last Saturday, goes out with an undercover, apparently, Channel 4 news team, and makes a series of very, very racist, derogatory remarks about Rishi Sunak, the Prime Minister, about people crossing the channel who he wants to shoot, about turning every mosque into a Wetherspoons. I mean, I watched this stuff. I thought this is just so over the top.
It really
No one
was.
speaks like this. This is like an Afghani.
Guys, honestly, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I thought it was like he's really just saying that. I'm like, how is he just talking like that? Talking so brash, so openly, all in a quick period of time. I had my questions about it and its authenticity. Honestly, the media will stop at no lengths to eliminate someone, a political candidate that they don't like, and that's just what I'm seeing here. It's just been, it's been a headache for Nigel, man. Honestly,
Comedy sketch going back 50 years, and yet overnight we found out that the guy is an actor. So we called him this morning. The Daily Telegraph called him this morning. He denied being an actor. After a short period of time, he admitted to other media outlets that he was an actor. And then we found his own website, where he speaks and advertises his services for adverts, for acting, whatever else it may be. And he describes himself as being very well spoken, but he has an alter ego. He can do what he calls rough talk. All right? Now, when he turned up in the office in Clacton last Saturday, I was there at the desk working. He turned up and it was proper call blimey governor, right? He was playing the alter ego. He was acting and not being himself from the moment he arrived. Then he goes out by coincidence on a canvassing team with an undercover reporter from Channel 4. We've also discovered over the course of the day that on another website, he advertises his services for doing undercover filming. I mean, this is like Netflix. You literally couldn't make this up. Now, we went back to Channel 4, questioned who this guy was, the veracity of what he was saying and what role he was positioning himself. And Channel 4, interestingly, denied that he was an actor. And yet, we've now found out he's done acting parts in the past for Channel 4. Can you see how the evidence is mounting up. Now, what I don't know is whether he was paid to do this or whether he volunteered to do this. That part of it, we just don't know. What I do know is that this is a stitch-up on the most astonishing scale. And think about it. An activist for a party, not a candidate, who holds no position whatsoever, makes the front page of the Times newspaper. The Prime Minister responds to say how awful he feels for his two daughters about this racist remarks that were made about his family. Folks, this is the biggest stitch-up I've ever seen in my life. And I bet you there's even more we're going to find out.
Yep.
Even more will come out over the course of the next couple of days.
Definitely.
Well, you know what? You only start taking flak, as they used to say in Bomber Command in World War II, when you're getting near the target. And we're getting near the target. The establishment are literally terrified of us. Terrified, not just of us breaking into Parliament and getting a bridgehead, not just terrified of me being the voice of opposition to a very weak Starmer government, which it will be, and hey, the divided Conservatives couldn't possibly provide anything like that. What they're really scared of is what I've said. Over the next 5 years, I intend to build a mass movement of millions across this country for real change. And they know that I could do it. They know that we could do it. And they're terrified because they know that would have an unstoppable momentum. Everything about British politics, the electoral system, the parties, the media is designed for nothing to change.
True.
Starmer taking over from Sunak, that's not a change of government, it's a change of management. And all the deep-seated problems that we face will continue and in fact probably get worse. What we're about is a strong, positive vision for this country, its future, the way we educate our kids, to give people a chance to get off benefits and go to work and be better off, to genuinely control our borders, to leave the ECHR, to stop people literally taking the mickey out of this country, to stop the population explosion that is going on through mass migration and devaluing everyone's life. We have got a radical plan to change this country for the better. And you know what? The vested interests want to stop us. All of this appalling, dishonest behaviour that I've seen against us, our people, and indeed me, makes me even more determined to succeed next Thursday. And if you can see what's there in front of you, then please join the revolt.
As I've been recording this video, they've been trolling Nigel again. So I'm going to play this video to show you what they're saying about Nigel. And yeah, let's just check it out quick.
The poison that is being taught to our children. They are being told that the stories of Columbine don't matter. All they're being told are the bad things that we did in our history. And I'm standing up and saying,
poster's coming
enough.
down.
We should be proud of who we are, where we come from.
Oh, man.
Go on, put it down.
It's not moving. This is the most up-to-date I have in regards to Reform UK and Nigel Farage. So if more comes down the pipeline, I'll be sure to speak about it. But remember, the media play a dirty game. Remember, I covered Jovan Owusu, Labour candidate MP in Clacton, who was talking about only wanting to vote, if he got power, he was only going to do what was in the best interest of black and brown people. He wasn't concerned with anyone else. And they called him a superstar. He was held as a hero. You know, they didn't even speak about what he said. They were like, he's stylish, you know, he's paisley ties, you look how he talks, look how he walks his dog, etc. And now with him, Nigel Farage, you know, they're smearing him from the words of someone who wasn't even linked to his campaign. You know, it was so unauthentic, the story, but they took that and they ran with that. That's very, very dirty. It's very, very dirty. it's a dirty way to conduct media. It's a dirty way to conduct politics, and this is a witch hunt from how it looks. But guys, yeah, that's enough from me. Just a quick disclaimer at the end of this video. This channel is not affiliated to any political party. I'm just going to call it for how I see it, and that's it. I'm not affiliated. This channel is not affiliated to any political party. We're just calling it for how we see it and how it comes across. That's all. No affiliation to any political party. So yeah. But anyway, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.